Hello everyone, Wade Heath for the Kingdom Report, back with you once again, this time with a breaking Disney Parks news update. In unfortunate news, Disney is set to lay off 28,000 employees as coronavirus slams its theme park business from coast to coast. No doubt Disneyland Resort and its inability to reopen over the last 6 months has also played a huge factor in this decision. In a story from CNBC and Sarah Whitten, the following is written saying, prolonged closures at Disney's California-based theme parks and limited attendance at its open parks has forced the company to lay off 28,000 employees across its parks, experiences, and consumer products division. In a letter sent to employees on Tuesday, Josh D'Amaro, head of parks at Disney, detailed several difficult decisions the company has had to make in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, including ending its furlough of thousands of employees. Shares of the company fell less than 2% after the closing bell on Tuesday, and around 67% of the 28,000 laid-off workers were part-time employees, according to D'Amaro. The company declined to break down the layoffs by individual park locations. While Disney's theme parks in Florida, Paris, Shanghai, Japan, and Hong Kong have been able to reopen with limited capacity, both California Adventure and Disneyland have remained shuttered in Anaheim, California. Quote, "As you can imagine, a decision of this magnitude is not easy," D'Amaro wrote in the letter obtained by CNBC, saying, "For the last several months, our management team has worked tirelessly to avoid having to separate anyone from the company. We've cut expenses, suspended capital projects, furloughed our cast members while still paying benefits, and modified our operations to run as efficiently as possible. However, we simply cannot responsibly stay fully staffed while operating at such limited capacity." End quote. The Parks, Experiences, and Consumer Products segment is a vitally important part of Disney's business, and last year it accounted for 37% of the company's $69.6 billion in total revenue. The following is a memo obtained from Josh D'Amaro to the affected employees. It reads as follows. Team, I write this note to you today to share some difficult decisions that we've had to make regarding our Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products organization. Let me start with my belief that the heart and soul of our business is, and always will be, people. Just like all of you, I love what I do. I also love being surrounded by people who think about their roles as more than jobs, but as opportunities to be a part of something special, something different, and something truly magical. Earlier this year, in response to the pandemic, we were forced to close our business and business units around the world. Few of us could have imagined how significantly the pandemic would impact us, both at our work and in our daily lives. We initially hoped that this situation would be short-lived and that we would recover quickly and return to normal. 7 months later, we find that has not been the case, and as a result, today we are now forced to reduce the size of our team across executive, salaried, and hourly roles. As you can imagine, a decision of this magnitude is not easy. For the last several months, our management team has worked tirelessly to avoid having to separate anyone from the company. We've cut expenses, suspended capital projects, furloughed our cast members, while still paying benefits. And we've even modified our operations to run as efficiently as possible. However, we simply cannot responsibly stay fully staffed while operating at such a limited capacity. As heartbreaking as it is to take this action, this is the only feasible option we have in light of the prolonged impact of COVID-19 on our business, including limited capacity due to physical distancing requirements and the continued uncertainty regarding the duration of the pandemic. Thank you for your dedication, patience, and understanding during these difficult times. I know that these changes will be challenging. It will take time for all of us to process this information and its impact. We will be scheduling appointments with our affected salaried and non-union hourly employees over the next few days. Additionally, today we will begin the process of discussing next steps with unions. We encourage you to visit the Hub or the WDI homepage for any support you may need. For those who will be affected by this decision, I want to thank you for all that you've done for our company and for all that you've done for our guests. While we don't know when the pandemic will be behind us, we are confident in our resilience and hope to welcome back cast members and employees when we can. Most sincerely, Josh D'Amaro, Chairman of Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. My friends, I can't tell you just how devastated I am to hear this news. If you don't know, I am somebody who, for over 12 years, worked for the Walt Disney Company, and up until late last year, worked for them at the Disneyland Resort in a senior management capacity. I know people affected by this news. I know people who have been furloughed for the last 6 months. I know people who have been impacted by this decision. 28,000 human beings are now subject to layoff, are now going through something they did not want to experience. And I understand that across the board, everybody is dealing with the realities of this virus as well as just the pandemic in general. I get it. I understand that. If you joined us on Kingdom Report Live this past weekend, you know that I made quite the impassioned plea to the state governor of California, asking for him to step up and lead in this situation. Since July, the governor of California has been saying, time and time again when pressed by reporters in his daily briefing, that he is just about to release guidance for theme parks to reopen, just about to share how theme parks can safely come back online, how he is in, quote, dynamic conversations with the heads of theme parks so that that guidance can be issued. Week after week, month after month, that has been the narrative. Recently, Josh D'Amaro, the chairman of Disney Parks, as well as the president of the Disneyland Resort, Ken Patrick, and Harry Sidhu, the mayor of Anaheim, all came together separately to share just how frustrated they are at this notion that the governor is about ready to give guidance when, in reality, they admit that nobody's called them, nobody's spoken to them, nobody has reached out. This led to yesterday, Monday, a situation where a large group of California state senators and assembly members sent a letter to Governor Gavin Newsom requesting that Newsom issue guidelines for parks such as Disneyland, Universal Studios, and Knott's Berry Farm to reopen. This comes 1 week after Newsom promised he would issue such guidelines, quote, very soon. From the letter, they write, many indoor facilities are ready and operating safely at reduced capacities, with face covering and physical distancing requirements and with heightened hygiene practices. Logic would suggest that since theme parks are controlled venues operating predominantly outdoors, that they too could reopen with similar health and safety protocols. In a blurb from Deadline.com, they write the following, saying, Josh D'Amaro, the new chairman of Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products, last Tuesday begged California officials to let Disneyland reopen and to, quote, treat theme parks the way you treat other sectors. What he's referring to there is the new color-coded system that the governor has put in place just before Orange County, where Disneyland is located, was set to come off of the watch list in the prior version of the way they were tracking COVID-19 and spikes during the pandemic. A whole new color-coded system was put into place, and well, everything we knew suddenly changed, and Orange County was back into a much worse category by the new color-coded system. However, Josh D'Amaro there saying, treat us how you would treat other sectors, what he's referring to is that that new color-coded system does not include theme parks. In fact, theme parks were left off and were going to be dealt with entirely on their own. Folks, this is really hard to hear, that 28,000 people are suddenly laid off and are in a situation where they no longer have jobs when there was hope that they were going to come back from furlough at some point. All we requested on Saturday on Kingdom Report Live was that the governor step up and give the guidance he's been saying he's going to give all along. Who knows if this could have helped the situation? Who knows if the guidance that he said he was going to give back on July the 4th could have helped prevent 28,000 more people from being laid off. It's troubling to see that the governor is not stepping up and giving the guidance he said he would give time and time again. I don't know what sort of game this is. I don't know what the end result is supposed to be. I don't know what success looks like for this strategy. It doesn't add up. All I know is that 28,000 of my friends, my peers, my colleagues have now officially been laid off. Hopefully, we will hear very soon as to what the guidance is that we've been waiting for since July. And maybe, perhaps, as a vaccine approaches and as this virus continues to be safely dealt with, we can figure out together how to move forward and potentially bring some of these jobs back. At any rate, this has been your breaking news update. The Disney company now laying off 28,000 people across the Disney Parks Experiences and Products division in a response, no doubt, to struggling attendance numbers in reduced capacity sites and their inability to reopen the Disneyland Resort. If you're new here, might I suggest you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Ensure that you are locked on to all of our content so that you never miss an update. We will follow this story and bring you continued news as it becomes available. For the Kingdom Report, I'm Walt Heath. We'll talk to you again real soon.